Good morning, guys. Good morning, good evening, good evening, good evening. A very good evening to all of you. Come on, join me. Where is everybody today? Waiting for you guys. Come on, come on, come on, join the class. Chaliye, let me move on, let me move on. So, good evening, everyone. My name is Manish Mishra. I welcome you all to this Unacademy Gate Mechanical PIXE YouTube channel. And this is the 30-second lecture in the Industrial Engineering and Operations Research Crash Course series. So guys, for those who don't know me, my name is Manish Mishra. I secured an All India rank of 568 in GATE 2015. And since then, I have been teaching for GATE and ESE aspirants. I have a cumulative experience of 5 years in teaching now. And the subjects that I primarily take are manufacturing science, industrial engineering, operations research, as well as material science. Kushwaha Manish Kumar Suresh Chandra. Very good evening to you. So Kushwaha, this is your first class, I think, in the live session. I don't know, you might be watching my recorded lectures, but I have seen you live for the first time. So a very welcome, warm welcome to you. Now, for those who do not know about this, guys, we are having a lot of fun. So I have started a new series named as Manufacturing 2020, in which in 20 days time, just in 20 days time, I will be completing the entire manufacturing with respect to the GATE examination. है ना? So just in 20 days time, this series has already started. It started on the 10th of December and we are already through with around 17 or 18 classes in this series. Every day from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. I go live on the Unacademy app, special class category. No, sir, I am watching your lectures regularly, but this is the first time you are commenting. Due to exams, some of the lectures are left. No worries, Kushwa. You can check out the playlist. The lectures are there. You can watch the recorded session and still can get in the continuation with this class. So, guys, I was telling you about the Manufacturing 2020 series specifically for GATE 2021 aspirants. GATE 2021 aspirants. In just 20 days time, we will be looking at the entire manufacturing and that too in a very unique way. With the help of concepts and questions alone, we are dealing with the entire manufacturing. So those who are also looking for revision classes of manufacturing, this is a great session for them also. And remember, this session is absolutely free. Just remember to use the code referral code MMM10. This will unlock your free sessions on the Unacademy app. Okay. Sai Varun is asking only problems of manufacturing. No, Sai, no, not at all. I am dealing with concepts and then we are solving numericals. Okay. I am telling the concepts and then we are solving numericals. So do not get confused, my friend. Okay. So those who want to join my classes, Manufacturing 2020, this is the entire schedule that I have already provided to my current students on the 10th of December. And in this series, my friend, we have reached up until this point, and tomorrow we will be starting a completely new session. A completely new session in the morning 9 a.m. only on the Unacademy app. Okay, so this is the entire schedule for the entire Manufacturing 2020 from 10th of December till 29th of December. In 20 days time, I am targeting the entire manufacturing. Every day morning 9 a.m. till 11 a.m. Two sessions, one hour. An excellent opportunity for those who are looking for the revision of manufacturing. Okay, my friends. we have already completed casting and metal cutting, and tomorrow we are about to start unconventional machining. ECM, EDM will be the prime topics that I will be targeting, and we will be solving some very beautiful numericals on that. Okay, so let me move on. So guys, this is my profile on the Unacademy app. You can simply search my name Manish Mishra on the Unacademy app and you can check out my profile. I am Unacademy verified educator. I am having a rank of 99 out of 1000 plus educators in the GATE and ESE category on the Unacademy platform. So guys, on the Unacademy platform there are more than 1000 plus educators. That is the power of Unacademy. That is the level of Unacademy. And because of your love, affection, just in 1 month time only, I have reached to this level. It would have been impossible unless and until you guys would have supported me. So guys, those who want to watch my session, this is the QR code. This is the QR code on the right hand side of the screen. This is the QR code. You can simply scan this QR code. You will be able to see my profile. Just simply follow me with the help of this QR code and you will be able to get the notifications of all my sessions that are going to be there on the Unacademy platform. Okay, my friends. Okay, let me move on. So, if you will be watching the free sessions on the Unacademy app, remember guys, for those who will be joining this session new, for those who will be downloading the Unacademy app right now, they will have to unlock your free plan. As I have mentioned, every lecture that I am making, every module that I am creating, those modules are absolutely free. But in order to access those classes, you will have to use the code MMM10. When you will follow me and you would like to watch my classes, a prompt like this will come where it will be asking you enter an invite code to unlock your free plan. So to unlock your free plan, you have to use the referral code MMM10. Okay, this will unlock your free plan on the Unacademy app. Then for every educator out there, you will be able to watch their sessions absolutely free. Absolutely free, my friends. Okay, so just remember the referral code MMM10 and please share this referral code with your friends also. They will be greatly benefited with this. Now, many of our students ask me, sir, where can we get the notes of your classes? है ना? So my friends, not only notes, the practice booklets that I will be providing for industrial engineering, operations research, as well as for other subjects, the notifications of my classes, and many more things you can download directly from my Telegram channel. So just simply scan this QR code. On the right hand side of your screen and you can join my Telegram channel and can download the notes, practice booklets, PDFs and many more content absolutely free, which is going to be extremely beneficial for you if you are preparing for GATE and ESE. So guys, this QR code can become a gold mine for you if you are preparing for GATE. I will be sharing the practice booklets, the PYQs of all the subjects of GATE examination. That is my promise. Okay, so you can join me on this Telegram channel. Let me move on. So guys, the moment that we all are waiting for, let us start this session on industrial engineering and operations research. In this series, my friends, we are currently dealing with linear programming problem, and today is the 5th iteration in the linear programming problem series. Okay, so let me move on to the point where we have left the class yesterday. So yes, this is the question right here on your screen, my friends. I gave you this question in the last class at the very end, and we solved this question using the graphical method, and it clearly showed that this is a problem which has multiple optimal solution. This problem is a case of multiple optimal solution. Okay. Now, listen to me. We were solving this question using the simplex method. And while solving, we have performed the first iteration. And in the first iteration, my friends, just by looking at the values of Cj minus Zj, we have concluded that this solution is not optimal, and there is a need for us to perform one more iteration. Performing one more iteration means one variable should go inside, one variable should go outside. I hope you are getting my point. So right now we have selected the entering variable. So x2, my friends, have become the entering variable. Let me write that for you. X2 has become the entering variable. For those who are joining this session, this is a great opportunity for you to understand simplex method with the help of this question. So stay tuned, my friends. Okay. Now, as 10 is the highest out of these all the values of Cj minus Zj, x2 has become the entering variable. But if x2 has become the entering variable, something should leave. Somebody should leave. Someone out of S1 and S2 and S3 should leave. And for that, my friends, we have calculated theta. Theta is coming as 10, 4 and 6. The minimum value of theta we select as the exit variable. So let me just draw the box. For you guys. So this is the box. This is indicating that S2 should be leaving. So let me just mark that. X2 becomes the exit variable or the leaving variable, whatever you feel like saying. So in place of S2, we will be writing X2 now. And remember, X2 is promising us 10 runs in one ball. The analogy I am taking is of cricket. So basically, X2 is saying that he will score 10 runs in one ball, and we are giving X2 4 balls to face. So 10 into 4, now the team score is 0, but on the second iteration, 10 into 4, the team score will become 40, my friends. So that is just for the verification, so that we can ensure that whether we are making the iteration table correctly or not. Now let us move on to the next iteration table. So I will be writing down second iteration. So guys, in second iteration, remember, x2 will go inside the table and will have a value of 4. So x1 will remain 0 as it is, because x1 is still out of the table. X2 will be 4. So basically we will be checking the value at 0, 4. One of the vertices point of the feasible region. Let me show that to you. So 0, 4, as you can see, is one of the vertices point of the feasible region. Now let me move on. So let me write CB, CJ, basis x1, x2, s1, s2, s3, b. So 4, 10, 0, 0, 4, 10, 0, 0, 0. In the basis column, I will be writing s1, x2, s3, s1, x2, s3. This is 0, 0. In place of x2, we will write 10. Now remember, my friends, the operation that we have to perform, that the pivotal element, this element out there, 5, I have to make 5 into 1. And all the elements which are above and below 5, that is 3, it should be 0, 1 should be made into 0. So let me first make this as 5. So basically the operation that I will be performing is that for a completely new row 2, I will be taking the old row 2 and dividing it by 5. So I will be getting 2 by 5. Then 5 by 5 is 1. Then 0 by 5 is 0. 1 by 5 is 1 by 5. Then 0. Then instead of b, 20 by 5, that is 4. Now we have to make this as 0, this as 0. So what operation I will be performing for row 1? So let me write that. For a completely new row 1, the operation that I will be performing is old row 1 minus old row 2 by 5. So I will be getting the values 8 by 5, 0, 1, minus 1 by 5, 0 and 6. Now for the third row, this is 3. So what we need to do for a completely new third row, we will be taking the old third row, multiply the second row by 3 and divide it by 5 so that I can get a value of 3, and subtracting will be getting 0. So this is coming out as 4 by 5, 0, 0, minus 3 by 5, 1 and 6. Now let me just calculate Zj. So 10 into 2 by 5 is 4. 10 into 1 is 10. 10 into 0, 0. 10 into 1 by 5, 2, 0 and 40. Okay. So remember guys, I told you that we are allowing this 10 to go inside, that is it will be making 10 runs in one ball and we are giving it 4 balls to play, so it will be making 40 runs. So this is our verified simplex table. Now let me calculate Cj minus Zj to check whether this feasible solution is optimal or not. So for that, 4 minus 4, 0, 10 minus 10, 0, 0, minus 2, 0. So guys, now you can see all the values in Cj minus Zj are 0 or negative. No positive value is here. Nobody is promising to increase the score, and our objective is maximization. Nobody is saying anything about maximization. That indicates that this is an optimal solution. And what is the optimal solution? Arey, optimal solution is this, baba. x1 0, x2 4. Okay, x1 0, x2 4. Now the most important thing. Guys. Come on, tell me in the comment box. Are you able to understand? Whatever tables I am drawing, are you guys able to understand that? Come on, guys, tell me. Tell me. So people have decided not to talk to me. Come on. So check out this. So guys, let me tell you one more thing. A very interesting thing. Okay. Now through the graphical method, we observed that this problem had a maximum value at 0, 4 as well as 15 by 4, 5 by 2. And that implies us that this is a case of multiple optimal solution. But दोस्तों ध्यान से देखिएगा, Simplex have simply told me that this is an optimal solution. But let me tell you one thing, Simplex is also telling me how this problem is a case of multiple optimal solution. Simplex is also telling me how this problem is a case of multiple optimal solution. Let me explain you that. But before I explain that point, let me take you to the question that we solved in the last class. So this was the question, my friends. This was the question. You can see in this question, let me just simply show this to you. You can see in this question that we basically allowed, let me check once again. So I don't have the question. So guys, check this out. Basically, in this optimal table, if you will see, then you will find that corresponding to S1, X2, S3. No worries, Ashwin, no worry at all. Okay. So you can check for S1, X2 and S3 that the values under the Cj minus Z0 is 0. So all the elements that are inside the iteration table, all the elements that are inside the iteration table S1, X2, S3 that are the basis variables, they have a value of Cj minus Zj as 0. I mean, you can even check in this table also, S1, S2, S3 are inside the table, their value under the Cj minus Z0 is 0. And those variables which are not inside the table, their values will either be positive or be negative. But in this question, what has happened? Those variables which are not inside the table, x1 and s2, they have a negative value with respect to s2, but with respect to x1, I am getting a 0. So remember, we should always be getting a 0 with respect to the basis, not with respect to the non-basis. हाँ भाई, इस क्रैश कोर्स को फुल कोर्स को करा दिया गया है ना. I have basically taught everything in industrial engineering and operations research. Although I was told to take it as a crash course, but guys, दिल है कि मानता नहीं. So basically this was to be a positive value. This was to be a positive value or to be a negative value, but this is basically turning out to be 0. What this indicates, let me tell you. So if I will simply select this as the entering variable, you know what will happen? X1 will go inside the table, and if X1 will enter into the table, someone out of S1, X2 and S3 will leave the table. That means if x1 goes inside the table, then this value of x1 equal to 0, will change. This value of x1 equal to 0 will change, and we will get one more solution. But because on one ball x1 will make 0 runs, therefore the team score will not increase. Guys, please try to understand this. Under the Cj minus Z0, there should be exactly that many number of zeros. That is, it is equal to the number of basis variables. So we have 3 basis variables. We have 3 zeros. But in this case, what we are getting? We have one more zero more than the number of basis variable, which is indicating that if I will make this variable x1 as the entering variable and someone s1, x2, s3 should leave the table, then I will get one more solution. I will get another value for x1, which will change the solution. But because this is 0, because x1 will be making 0 runs in one ball, therefore the team score will remain 40. So at 40 we will be getting one more solution, which is what I have got in this graphical method. At 40 I have got one more solution. That's why I considered this to be a case of multiple optimal, and that for very reason, my friends, I will also tell that this particular solution is a case of multiple optimal solution, because I will be getting one more solution and the maximum value will not change. More solution but same maximum point. So that, my friend, is a case of multiple optimal solution. How we obtained that? We simply obtained that by observing the number of zeros in the Cj minus Z0. If the number of zeros are more than the number of basis variable, then this concludes that it is a case of multiple optimal solution. So let me write that for you. So first of all, let me write unique solution. Winter is at its peak, guys. Winter is at its peak. In this Unacademy t-shirt, it is shivering cold. So unique solution, how we will observe unique solution. So if Cj minus Zj row of simplex table for basis element is 0, and for non-basis element is negative for maximization problem and positive for minimization problem, then the solution is said to be a unique solution. Sir, in which year you have passed out? Ashish, I passed out in the year 2014, and in the year 2015, that was the very first year when I cracked the GATE examination. Although in 2014 also I wrote the GATE examination, but that year I did not secure a very good rank. ठीक है ना? So it was an eye-opening experience. Then I gave everything in the year 2015. Not in 15, I gave everything in 14, and I wrote the examination in 15. Okay. Now let me write the same for multiple optimal solution. Don't worry guys, just simply write it down and I will explain that to you. Multiple optimal solution. In Cj minus Zj row of simplex table, comma, for basis element is 0, and for at least one of the non-basis element is also 0, then the solution is said to be multiple optimal solution. Then the solution is said to be multiple optimal solution. So guys, let me just simply tell you what I have written here. In the Cj minus Zj row of simplex table, for basis element we have 0. As I have said that all the elements that are inside the table S1, X2, S3, their value will be 0 in the Cj minus Zj row. And for non-basis element is negative for maximization problem and positive for minimization problem. So as I said, in Cj minus Zj we have either 0, positive or negative values. If all the values are zeros and negative, that indicates that we have optimal solution. But if only the basis elements are 0 and all other elements are either positive for minimization and negative for maximization, then the solution is said to be a unique solution. Okay, but if in Cj minus Z0 of simplex table for basis element is 0, for all the elements that are inside the table their value is 0, but for at least one of the non-basis element, x1 is non-basis, for x1 also we are getting 1 0. So for at least one of the non-basis element is also 0, then the solution is said to be a case of multiple optimal solution. I hope this is clear to each and every one of you. If anybody has any doubt, feel free to ask me. If anybody has any doubt, feel free to ask me. Otherwise, I will move on. Okay. So guys, one more question. Let us deal with that. So the question is that we have to maximize z equal to 12x1 plus 20x2 subjected to 6x1 plus 8x2 greater than equal to 100, 7x1 plus 12x2 greater than equal to 120, x1 x2 greater than equal to 0. So this is the question, my friends. This is the question in front of your screen. Now many of you might be thinking that sir is taking one question again and again. Guys, please remember that through graphical method we have seen 4 types of solutions: unique solution, multiple optimal, unbounded, no solution. But from simplex method we have seen only 2 types of solution: unique solution and multiple optimal. Now we are looking into one more situation which is going to be telling us one more kind of solution through the simplex method. Okay, so many of you might be thinking that it is extremely boring, but let me tell you, you have to study this. Okay, it is important for the GATE examination. I mean, the competition in the current GATE exam is extreme, my friends, and you cannot risk to leave anything, and let alone leaving LPP. It is a very important chapter. ठीक है ना? Many teachers say that just go and study graphical method, LPP is done, है ना? No need to study simplex method. But please do not fool yourself. Simplex method is equally important. Okay. So let me move on. So this is our question, है ना? Now guys, if you will solve this question using the graphical method, let me do that for you immediately. And those who are watching this lecture, please solve this question graphically in your own notebooks, okay, on your own. So 6x1 plus 8x2 equal to 100. Keeping x1 as 0, I am getting x2 equal to 12.5. So let me just mark this here. 0, 12.5. We have x2 here and we will be having x1 here. Similarly, keeping x2 0, we get 16.667. So let me mark this here. 16.67 comma 0. Let me join these two. Remember, I have marked this line with red color. And guys, you can clearly see that there is a greater than equal to sign here. Which means all the points above this line are also the feasible solution for this constraint. Now let me use blue color. So 12x2, keeping x1 as 0, I get x2 as 10. So this is 0 comma 10. and keeping x to 0, I will get 120 by 7, that is 17.14. So let me mark this here, comma 0. So let me join these 2 points. Let me join these 2 points. Again, you can see this is greater than equal to all the points above this line. All the points above this line are also the feasible solution. So guys, simply by drawing these two lines, I have come to one conclusion. That this problem, the feasible region is unbounded. The feasible region is unbounded. Therefore, this problem has a case of unbounded solution. Guys, I am simply taking problems of only two variables so that we can solve them both by graphical method as well as simplex method, just so that I can explain you guys. Okay? Otherwise, I would have taken a three variable problem and I have simply solved it using the graphical method, or sorry, simplex method. Okay? So unbounded solution, the objective was to maximize z. So z maximum will be at infinite because x2 will always be at infinite, x1 will be at always be at infinite for the vertices point of the feasible region, because this is an unbounded solution. Come on guys, we have already discussed this. Okay, now let us take this question and solve this using the simplex method. Okay, so maximize z equal to 12x1 plus 20x2, 12x1 plus 20x2. I don't know what is the case. But I am noticing that on the online platform, majority of students, I mean like 95% of the students, those who are watching my sessions, they like to watch sessions not live but recorded. This is I have observed, and this is a very keen observation that I have made in the past 1 month, that majority of the students, those who are watching my lectures, that is 95% of the students, they are watching these sessions recorded and not live. I mean, they text me after watching the session that it was a nice session, nicely explained and everything. But when I ask them, I didn't saw you live, they just straight away tell me that sir, I watched the lectures recorded. So majority of them of you are doing that. But guys, let me tell you, it is much more beneficial if you can watch the lecture live. Okay, I mean, this is like I start the session at 9:15. I mean, most of you, whatever you are, wherever you are, if you are in your colleges or doing anything, I am just advising you to watch the lectures live. That is going to benefit you the most, because you can interact with the tutor. I mean, the educator you can interact with, and you can just type it in the chat box that whatever your doubts are. Otherwise, the recorded sessions are just like recorded lectures. Okay, so subject to 6x1 plus 8x2 greater than equal to 100, 7x1 12x2 greater than equal to 120, and x1 x2, thank you Ashwin, greater than equal to 0. Thank you my friend, really nice to have Ashwin as one of my student. Now let me convert this problem into standard form. Because the standard form conversion is very unique in this case. So now what happens, the all the variables are restricted, so no need to go for the first condition. Let us simply go for the second condition, that is remove the inequality. And because the left hand side is greater now, what I will be doing, I will be writing 6x1 plus 8x2 minus s1 equal to 100, and I will be writing here 7x1 plus 12x2 minus s2 is equal to 120, and then I will write x1, x2, s1, s2 all greater than equal to 0. But now check out one problem. Check out one problem. We know that for the first iteration, x1 and x2 cannot be the basis variable, so their values will be 0. We know that for the first iteration x1 and x2 are 0, so their values will be 0 because they are decision variable. So if I will put x1, x2 as 0, then we will get s1 as minus 100 and s2 as minus 120. Both are negative, and we have written here s1, s2 are greater than equal to 0. So this indicates, these negative values in s1 and s2 indicates that the conversion that I have made here, the conversion into the standard form that I have made here is wrong. Okay, so guys, I did this deliberately so that I can explain something unique to you guys, है ना? Explain something unique to you guys, and the difference and the uniqueness, that is that if in any problem there is a greater than equal to constraint or equal to constraint. So let me just discuss this. If there is a greater than equal to constraint or equal to constraint, है ना? Up until this moment we have only solved the question using the less than equal to constraint, but now I'm saying if there is a greater than type constraint or equal to type constraint, then in that case the conversion is like this. The conversion is like this: 6x1 plus 8x2 minus s1 plus one more variable a1 equal to 100. Then I will write 7x1 plus 12x2 minus s2 plus a2 is equal to 120, and I can write x1, x2, s1, s2, a1, a2 all greater than equal to 0. ठीक है ना? So basically guys, remember this point: whenever there will be a greater than equal to constraint or equal to constraint, one more variable gets added to the standard form constraint equation, and this a variable is called as the artificial variable. This variable, my friends, is called as the artificial variable. Artificial variable, and as the name suggests, this variable is completely artificial, completely fake, no significance at all. Remember, I have told you guys specifically that slack variable has significance. Slack variable has significance, and I will explain that to you when we will be dealing with the concept of duality in LPP. In a couple of classes we will be seeing that concept of duality in LPP. So slack variables has significance, but artificial variable, my friends, it do not have any significance. It is completely fake, artificial. Now, why I have added this artificial variable? Because remember, if I would not have added, S1 would have gained a negative value, minus 100. And we have promised a simplex method that all the variables that we will use, they should be in the first quadrant. And this S1 minus 100 is violating that condition. So basically I have written minus S1 plus A1 equal to 100. Now S1 and A1 can have any value, but they should be in the first quadrant. So S1 with a minus sign plus A1 can be 100, but now S1 cannot be negative, A1 cannot be negative. Just like X dash was replaced by X double dash minus X triple dash. I hope you got my point. Okay, so these are the final conversion. Now. Suppose there would have been a constraint like this: 6x1 plus 8x2 equal to 100. Suppose the constraint itself was an equation type constraint. Suppose the constraint itself was an equation type constraint. Array, we have to convert the constraint, inequality constraint, into the equation form. Suppose a constraint is already in equation form. Now what? It is already in standard form, my friends. Now what? Let me tell you guys, this is not in standard form. है ना? Why? Because remember, for the first iteration, values of x1 and x2 will be 0 because they cannot be considered as the basis variable in the first iteration. And the other condition is that from every constraint out there, there has to be one basis variable for the first iteration. For the first iteration, there has to be at least one basis variable from every constraint out there. So remember, this constraint will also have to provide one basis variable, and because x1 and x2 cannot be basis for the first iteration, what we will do, my friends, I will convert this into the standard form for LPP. So I will write 6x1 plus 8x2 plus a1 is equal to 100. So I will simply add one artificial variable, and this artificial variable will become the basis variable. Okay. Okay, I hope you all are able to understand this. I hope you all are able to understand this. Let me just move on. So this is the conversion into the standard form. Now, what do we get out of this? Array yaar, we have to perform the first iteration. Let me tell you, we have to perform the first iteration. But my friends, because we have added this variable, artificial variable, there is one more thing that we will have to do before we solve this problem using the simplex method. Let me tell you, this artificial variable is a very dirty thing. Once it became a part of your problem, तो एक मछली पूरे तालाब को गंदा कर देती है. I don't know what is the conversion of this muhavara in English. A bad fish spoils the entire pond. है ना? एक मछली पूरे तालाब को गंदा कर देती है. So basically, my friends, the artificial variable that we have introduced, this artificial variable has completely destroyed the significance of our problem. And this is a serious issue. In order to get the problem back, in order to find the essence, the significance of that problem, we will have to make sure that we eliminate this artificial variable. We have to make some arrangements so that we can eliminate this artificial variable. And for that, my friends, what we do, we make use of a method, and that method is called as the big M method. Let me write in bracket, to deal with artificial variable. So the big M method is all about dealing with the artificial variable. So what is big M method? है ना? So let me just write that content for you. Let me just write for you what is big M method, and then we will understand this. So let me write from the very beginning that why we added the artificial variable, and then I will write it about the big M method. If there is a constraint, of greater than equal to or equal to type after eliminating negative sign from the RHS, or there is a constraint in the form of equation, comma, artificial variable will be added to that constraint. Artificial variable does not have any significance, hence it must be eliminated before the optimal solution is obtained. Okay. Now let me write something about the big M method. Up until now I have written everything, that why we introduce an artificial variable, when we introduce an artificial variable. Okay. So now in big M method, in big M method, artificial variable is added in the objective function. Artificial variable is added in the objective function with a coefficient plus minus m, with a coefficient plus minus m, if the problem is of maximization type, coefficient will be minus m, coefficient will be minus m. For minimization problem, it is plus m, where capital M is a very large, where capital M is a very large positive number, full stop, after adding the artificial variable in the objective function, in the objective function, problem can be solved by simplex method. Last point in note, a very small point. If artificial variable becomes the leaving variable, its column will also be deleted. So now, whatever I have written, it's time for the explanation of this point. It's time for the explanation of this point. So let me cover this. Let me cover the explanation. So basically, what I have written here, that in Big M method, artificial variable is added in the objective function. What is Big M method? Let me tell you, it is the method with the help of which we will deal with the artificial variable. I have told you guys, because there was a greater than or equal to type constraint, artificial variable got introduced, but artificial variable does not have any significance, hence it must be eliminated before the optimal solution is obtained. Okay? So in order to make arrangements for the elimination of this artificial variable, we use the Big M method. Consider the artificial variable as a cockroach and the Big M method as the Baygon spray. Okay, so to eliminate the cockroach, we are using the Baygon spray, Big M method. Always remember this, guys. Students, every other student make this mistake, that they forget to add the artificial variable into a problem wherever there is a greater than or equal to constraint, and then they, even if they use the artificial variable, they forget that we have to use the Big M method, and then only we can solve the problem using the simplex method. So what is basically the Big M method? Let me just tell you what is basically the Big M method. Up until now, guys, up until now we have solved various questions about the maximization, है ना, about the maximization. So what simplex method is basically doing? What simplex method is basically doing, that in a maximization problem, it is allowing that variable to enter. It is allowing that variable to enter which variable has the highest coefficient, है ना. अरे check out this objective function 4x1 plus 10x2. So out of this, if I want to maximize, I will be allocating more value to x2, because x2 has the highest coefficient. It will benefit me more. It will increase the value of z more. So basically, that variable which has the highest value, highest coefficient, simplex simply take that variable and make sure that this variable goes inside. And simplex straight away throw out that variable. Simplex straight away throw out that variable which has a lesser coefficient, which is trying to minimize. Simplex throw away that variable. ठीक है ना? So now check out this. What Big M method is saying. In Big M method, artificial variable is added in the objective function. We add the artificial variable to the objective function. ठीक है? With a coefficient plus minus m. If the problem is of maximization, the coefficient is minus m. And if the problem is minimization, the coefficient is plus m, where m is a very large positive number. I hope you all got my point. Let me just explain that to you. If in this very problem, I modify this objective function and I write z is equal to 12x1 plus 20x2 plus 0s1 0s2, and because it is a maximization problem, I will be adding the artificial variable in the objective function with a coefficient minus m, a1 minus ma2. If it would have been a minimization problem, I would have written plus n, but now I have written minus n. So what is happening? What is happening? Remember, this is a maximization problem. Simplex will allow that variable to enter which has the highest coefficient. So the highest coefficient is 20, and simplex will simply kick out that variable which has the least coefficient. So these artificial variable has the least coefficients. It is saying that m is a very large positive number. M is a very large positive number. So taking m, let's say m is 100 crore. Let's say m is 100 crore, very large positive number. So considering minus 100 crore a1, if some value will go to a1, it will minimize this objective function, which is the inverse of our objective. So simplex, if we will write minus ma1 minus ma2, simply make sure that this artificial variable get out of this problem. Simplex itself will make sure that this cockroach, this artificial variable should die. I hope you people are getting my point. I hope you people are getting my point. So guys, so that is the big M method. And now it says that after adding the artificial variable, you can solve the problem by simplex method. Just remember one thing, note point. If artificial variable becomes the leading variable, its column will also be deleted. If artificial variable becomes the leading variable, its column will also be deleted. So I hope you got my point. Now let us simply solve this question using the simplex method. Now let us solve this question using the simplex method. So guys, let me just write down this question once again. I am not going to write the question. I am just going to write these three constraints so that I will not have to move forward and backward again and again. 6x1 plus 8x2 minus s1 plus a1 is equal to 100. 7x1 plus 12x2 minus s2 plus a2 is equal to 120. x1, x2, s1, s2, a1, a2 greater than equal to 0. And the objective function, what was the objective function? 12x1 plus 20x2. 12 plus 0s1, 0s2. Remember, this is maximization, therefore minus ma1 minus ma2. Okay. So now guys, now let me tell you one thing, that first iteration we will have to perform, and for the first iteration we will have to select basis and non-basis. So x1 x2 cannot be basis for the first iteration. x1 x2 cannot be basis, so they will simply go to this category. Now from every iteration we need one basis variable. From every constraint out there, we need one basis variable. So we need one basis variable from here, one from here. But now x1, x2 cannot be basis, so I have two choices. I can either have s1 or I have a1. Now which should I choose? Oh guys, do not worry, let me show that to you. I have already covered that point. The equation where artificial variable is present, artificial variable will become the basis variable, otherwise the slack variable will be basis. If artificial variable is present in any of the constraint, then that artificial variable should become the basis variable. Okay, my friends. And also remember this, we have to make sure that we have to eliminate this artificial variable as soon as possible. And that's why I have used all the big M method, the bake on spray method. So unless and until artificial variable is inside the table, how can we kick out the variable? So the table has to have the artificial variable in the basis column, then only we can kick out the variable. So now I am going to write the artificial variable in the basis column. A1, A2, A1 from here, A2 from here. So S1, S2 will also go here. S1, S2 will also go here. So all the variables which are non-basis, they will have a value 0. They will simply have a value 0. And artificial variable will be the basis variable. They will have the values in the B column. So now let me calculate that. Let me calculate that. है ना? Okay. So, sir, what is the meaning of duality in LPP? Fundu and fact channel. Fundu and fact channel. Duality is a completely different concept in linear programming problem, which we will be dealing after one class. I mean, today is one class and tomorrow is there going to be one more class on the artificial variable, and tomorrow itself, है ना? Tomorrow itself I will start dealing with the concept of duality. It is an extremely important and beautiful concept. I mean, you will enjoy if you will learn that concept. है ना? I know many of the students, they don't like this LPP method, simplex method. They feel that it is very exhausting, very boring, very calculative. But guys, let me tell you, the method that you are learning right now, it was given by William H. Dantzig 70 years back, and this is one of the most widely used algorithm in the programming world. ठीक है ना? So it is very very, what you say, it is a prestige, ठीक है ना, that you are learning this method. Now I will discuss fundu and fact tomorrow class. Tomorrow Sunday, yes, Sunday we will having a class at 9:15 p.m. on YouTube, and we will be discussing the concept of duality in that class. Now, let me move on. So CB, CJ, basis, X1, X2, S1, S2, A1, A2, B. In the basis category, I will be writing A1 and A2. Their coefficients are minus M, 12, 20, 0, 0, minus M. This is 6, 8, minus 1, 0, 1, 0, 100. This is 7, 12, 0, minus 1, 0, 1, 120. Let me write ZJ. So minus 6M plus minus 7M, minus 13M. This is minus 20M, minus M into minus 1 plus M, again plus M, minus M, minus M, and this one is last, minus 220M. Now I will be calculating Cj minus Zj to check whether this is an optimal solution or not. So that means 12 minus 13M, that is 13M. I am simply eliminating 12 and 20, है ना? I am eliminating 12 and 20 because they are very small in comparison to this M value. 0 minus M, minus M, minus M, minus M, minus M, 0, 0. ठीक है? So out of these, because we have to maximize, so the maximum positive one will enter. So this my friend becomes the entering variable, x2 becomes the entering variable, x2 becomes the entering variable. Now somebody should leave, so theta 100 by 8, 120 by 12, the minimum is here, so a2 becomes the leaving variable, a2 becomes the leaving variable. So now in the next iteration table, in place of x2 we will be having, in place of x2 we will be having a2, and a2 will leave the table. Remember, for the next iteration table, 12 should be converted into what? 12 should be converted into what? 1, and 8 should be converted into 0. These are the two conversions that we will have to make. Now remember guys, the note point that I have told you, that if artificial variable becomes the leaving variable, its column will also be deleted. Now artificial variable a2 has become the leaving variable, it is leaving, x2 is entering. So because a2 has become the leaving variable, I will simply strike off the column of a2. I will simply strike off the column of a2. I hope people are getting my point. Once this artificial variable is eliminated, because it is artificial variable, fake variable, it has to be skipped out. So in the next iteration table, I will not be making the column of artificial variable. Okay दोस्तों, okay दोस्तों, okay दोस्तों, okay दोस्तों. So let me move on, है ना? Let me move on to the second iteration table. Second iteration table. Second iteration. So CBCJ basis. X1, X2, S1, S2, A1, B. X1, X2, S1, S2, A1, B. This is 12, 20, 0, 0, minus n. Under the basis column, A1 will be there, and instead of A2 we will write X2. Okay sir. Now X2 we have 20 here, for A1 we have minus n. Now the operation that we need to perform, is that for a new row 2, we take the old row 2 and divide it by 12. So this becomes 7 by 12. This becomes 1. 0 minus 1 by 12. 0, 120 by 12 is 10. Now we have to make this as 0. That means we take the new row. For the new row 1 we take the old row 1 and minus 8 times R2 by 12. So this is coming out to be 4 by 3, 0, minus 1, 2 by 3, 1 and 20. So let me write Zj now. So Zj will be minus 4m by 3, 20 plus m minus 2m by 3 minus m. Guys, whatever values that are there, finite values with respect to m, I simply neglect those values because they are extremely small with respect to capital M. Now to check whether this solution is optimal or not, we will calculate Cj minus Zj. So 12 minus 4m by 3, that is plus 4m by 3, 0 minus m, 2m by 3, 2m by 3 minus m. minus minus m is 0. So this becomes the entering variable. This becomes the entering variable. Let me just mark this column here. Let me just mark this column here. And if this has become the entering variable, something should leave. Something should leave. So for that we calculate replacement ratio theta. 20 divided by 4 by 3, that is 15. 10 divided by 7 by 12, that is 120 by 7. So out of these two, 15 is the smaller one. 15 is the smaller one. So that makes for artificial variable a1 to leave this system, which was our entire objective, that all the artificial variables should be eliminated. So remember guys, in the next iteration table, artificial variable will go out and x2 will take its place. Sorry, what I am writing here, x1 will take its place because x1 is the entering variable. Okay, na? And we have already known that this is the not an not a what not a what not a what not a optimal table. So in the next iteration we will have to make this 4 by 3 into what? This is the key element. We have to make sure that we make the key element as 1 and the elements below that as 0. So guys, I am stopping this lecture here because we are over with the time. But remember, this question is not complete. This question is not complete. As I have given a homework to all of you in the last class, in today's class also, this question is a homework. After the second iteration, you have to perform. You have to perform the other iterations and reach up to the optimal solution. I will be solving this question tomorrow. At the same time, 9:15 p.m. we will be continuing this lecture from this very question. So I hope there is no doubt in your mind up until this point. Otherwise, I believe that you would have asked that question. So yes guys, that's it for today's session. That's it for today's session. So now guys, for those who do not know, about this manufacturing 2020 session, let me just remind you that currently on the Unacademy special classes, which are absolutely free, if you will use the code MMM10, these classes are absolutely free. I have started a completely new series on the manufacturing science as well as on the material science series. And in this series, in just 20 days time, I will be completing the entire manufacturing. Okay, so this session has already started from 10th of December, and every day from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. up until the 29th of December, I will be continuing with this series. So those who want to join this series, they can be live at 9 a.m. tomorrow in my class. You can check out my profile by simply scanning the QR code behind my back. Once you will be downloading this PDF from the Telegram channel. Now guys, a huge announcement for you guys, those who are going to prepare for GATE 2022. Unacademy is introducing a new batch, that is the Evolve for GATE 2022. This is specifically for the mechanical stream, and it is going to be in English and Hindi, and this batch is going to start on the 28th of December. The top educators on the Unacademy platform are going to be in charge of this session. My team leader, Mr. Devendra Negi, is also going to be in charge of this team, as well as one of the greatest educator on the Unacademy platform, Praveen Kulkarni sir. Okay, so guys, if you want to be a part of this batch, if you want to join this batch, remember you can join this batch using the referral code MMM10. ठीक है ना? But my friends, remember, this triple M10 code will not only enable you to join this batch, it will also fetch you a discount, which I will be telling you very soon. Now, one more announcement. Those students who are willing to prepare for GATE 2023, for them also a batch by the name Ascend is introduced by the Unacademy team. This is also going to be in English and Hindi, and the very same educators are going to be in charge of this batch. This batch is also going to start on the 28th of December, and to join this batch you can again use my code triple M10. So guys, for those who want to be a part of this batch, because let me tell you guys, YouTube classes and special classes are absolutely free, but just on the basis of YouTube lectures and the special class lectures, your preparation cannot be complete. Your preparation is just not up to that point so that you can prepare or compete in the GATE examination. In order to prepare for the GATE examination, you have to have that extra bit of edge, and that can only be there if you can enroll for this batch. ठीक है ना? So guys, if you want to enroll for this batch, then remember you will have to opt for the Unacademy Plus subscription or the Unacademy Iconic subscription. ठीक है ना? Through the Plus subscription, you will be able to watch all the lectures live, the scheduled lectures that are already being planned by these top educators. You will be able to see all those lectures, the schedule of those lectures in advance, and then my friends, you can watch those classes live so that you can be benefited from that. You can have the real interaction with the educators. Crash courses are going to be there every week. There are going to be tests in these batches. Every fourth class, my friends, is going to be a doubt solving class in these batches. These batches will be run separately in English and Hindi, and at the end of the year there will be rank improvement batches in these very batches only. Sub batches, rank improvement batches will be there, where you will be just to be getting questions, discussing questions with these educators by increasing your concepts. Now in the iconic package, which is a bit costly I would say, but remember, these are investments, है ना? They will give their returns in future. So if you can make this investment, do go for the iconic batch, iconic package. Why? Because you will be getting a personal coach from an academy. This personal coach will be helping you to plan your studies, है ना? This personal coach will be personally analyzing your tests. So whatever test you will be giving, whether it is a weekly test or quizzes, those will be completely analyzed by this personal coach. He will be giving you study booster sessions. What are study booster sessions? Arey my friends, sometimes while preparing for the competitive examination, students lose that sharpness. They lose the motivation. So these study booster sessions will be there so that the motivation can be regained. Now Unacademy will also be providing you with the preparatory study material if you go for the iconic subscription. Now my friends, how much the subscriptions cost? How much the subscription cost? So the plus subscription, it comes in 6 different forms. You can either go for the 1 month package, the 3 month, 6 month, 12 month, 18 month and 24 month. If you are preparing for GATE 2023, I would suggest you go for the 24 month package. If you are preparing for GATE 2022, I would suggest you go for the 18 month package. Not the 12 month, the 18 month. Why? Because guys, even if you are preparing for 2022, remember that even after the GATE examination, you need some extra months to study, to revise, so that you can prepare for the GATE interviews of IITs, NITs or PSUs, or you can be preparing for some other examinations like BARC, ISRO, DRDO, etc. So I would suggest, and those exams are after the GATE examination. So I would suggest you either go for the 18-month package or the 24-month package. Now, you can simply compare that the 1 month package is 5500 per month, but the 24-month package is only 1833 per month, which is like 1/3 of the 1 month package. So you can compare the value in the 24-month package. Okay. Now the entire costing of these 18-month and 24-month packages are 38,500 and 44,000. But guys, I have promised you that if you will use the referral code MMM10, if in this section where it has been asked have a referral code before proceed to pay, if just by simply typing in this section triple M10, what will happen? Magic will happen. You will get 10% discount across all these categories. See, this price was 38,500. Now by the application of this code, it has become 34,650. This price was 44,000. Now by the application of the referral code, it has become 39,600. So guys, this referral code triple M10, let me write this code for you. Triple M10. Tell this code to each and every friend of yours. भैया कोड लगना चाहिए तो ट्रिपल M10 लगना चाहिए. If any code is going to be getting applied, it should be triple M10. I hope you all are able to understand my point. Okay. Now, this triple M10 code is valid for the iconic package also. The iconic package comes in two different forms. For 12 months 5250, for 24 months 74,000. If you will write the referral code triple M10 here, then guys, what happens? 10% gets discounted off. This package can be obtained for 45,225 and this for 66,600. So guys, I hope this session was beneficial for you. I, Manish Mishra, will be signing off from this Unacademy GATE Mechanical YouTube channel, but other educators on this very YouTube channel will be delivering you their excellent content. So this is my entire team which I am very proud to be a part of. So yes guys, on this very YouTube channel you can see and benefit from the contents of these great educators out there. This is India's #1 team for GATE and ESE Mechanical. Okay, so guys, that's it for today's session. And one more thing, if you want to connect with my team, just simply scan this QR code. You will be able to join the Telegram channel of the Unacademy GATE Mechanical PIXE, where you will be getting the notifications of all the classes of all these top educators, and also the PDF of their lectures will also be there in this very Telegram channel. So simply scan this QR code and join this Telegram channel. Okay guys, so that's it. These are the study channels of the Unacademy group in the GATE and ESE categories, and they are #1 in their categories. We have Creatrix GATE ECEIN channel, which is #1 across electrical branch. We have Mechanical PIXE channel, which is #1 across mechanical engineering, and we have Unacademy GATE Civil Engineering class, which is #1 in the civil engineering category. Now my friends, thank you all for watching the session. Please like, share and subscribe. Good night, goodbye. I will see you all tomorrow. Morning 9 a.m. On the Unacademy app, and evening 9:15 p.m. on YouTube. Okay, bye bye. Take care.